Go ahead and take it away, Christopher. Why the hell do you support this terrible president? Absolutely atrocious.
I support him because he facilitated the necessary conditions to have Roe v. Wade repealed.
Have you been up here before?
I've been on Parker's stream. I haven't been on yours.
Did I debate
Can I ask him a quick question?
when you were on Parker's stream?
No, you did not.
God.
Okay, cool. Hey, how do you feel about mandatory vasectomies?
Mandatory vasectomies.
Yes.
In what case?
You're sitting here talking about facilitating the standards or whatever for abortion.
A mandatory vasectomy is absolutely not comparable to making abortion illegal, bud. If that's the argument
you're right. It's actually better. Did you know that vasectomies are safer, more effective? They're reversible. It's an outpatient surgery, just a quick snip, and you can actually go on about your way. Plus, you can actually freeze your sperm beforehand. It's reversible at the same rate up to 5 years. After 5 years, it starts to decrease, and it's more safe than any form of birth control, whether you talk about the shot, the pill, or IUD. So, and last but not least, if you want to even eliminate the possibility of unwanted birth, then you take away the actual sperm from the equation, and you can eliminate the need for birth control. So, with all that being said, why wouldn't you advocate for mandatory vasectomies instead of worrying about
So
abortions?
if we're talking about that in the context of preventing birth, then that's understandable. I understand the argument that you're making. That would usually be a good argument. However, I do not advocate for using sexual intercourse as a vehicle for pleasure, period. It should be viewed purely sacredly in the context of
so you're just meat watching.
Meat watching? What the fuck are you saying to me right now?
Watching.
Yeah, he's watching the meat.
You're meat watching.
You are meat watching.
Like you just were. Exactly. What? That's weird, bud. Why are
What
you
the
meat
fuck
watching?
are you talking about?
Man, it makes sense. It makes sense to me. I'm picking up what he's.
Are you a
putting down.
homo habilis? Are you literally like? What are you talking about? Dude?
What is that?
Whoa, okay. Got to tell us what these big words mean here, Mr. Academic. What the hell is a homo habilis?
You guys don't know what a homo habilis is?
I actually don't.
That's why you guys are.
It's like a gropper term.
Okay, that's a species of humans.
Homo habilis?
Like a Neanderthal or a Denisovan, yeah.
So the Homo habilis went extinct a long time ago. Why did you ask Santana if he was a Homo habilis?
Exactly.
Why did I ask him that? Because he seems a little bit intellectually inferior to me. I would say that to you as well.
Okay. Well, I mean, just because I won't debate you on women's uterus because
because you're trying to make the argument to me that I'm meat watching. What the fuck are you saying?
You literally are. You said here and
I
said,
believe
wait,
that we use sex.
Bud, you're crashing.
the earth,
Slow down for a
nothing else.
second. You're crashing. You came up here on some Phil bro shit, and then I hit you with like a real thing with an actual mandatory vasectomy where you can control men's body, but you're not interested in that. And so you tried to pivot to this whole holier
It's not
than thou
about
talking
controlling
about
women's bodies or anybody's
exactly. And so
bodies.
you tried to
It's actually
pivot
about
to
the
this
natural
whole
process
aspect of like
sexual intercourse.
Sure,
and
you try to pivot to this whole
byproduct of it.
point about it and being like this whole thing that's purity and all this, and it's not. You're just meat watching. Like, why should you control someone else's sex life just because you're not getting none? Don't mean that we don't want to get none. Stop meat watching. It's weird.
I'm chilling it. Actually, as a matter of fact, in that regard, me and my woman believe that sex is a sacred act that is only
I
necessary.
guess so. Meat watch yourself. Stop meat watching other people.
Okay, well, if I don't meat watch the population, as you're putting it, then statistics are trending towards population inversion by 2030. So what do you make of that? What is our society worth if we're not trying to protect the sacred act of at least maintaining
Tell me what you're doing to actually promote people actually having children. What are you actually doing to promote people having kids? Are you advocating for paid parental leave? Are you advocating for stronger social safety
yes,
net,
there should be more
universal health care? What are you doing?
There should be more government access. I'm sorry, the government should have a bigger push in general for incentivizing people to populate and to have a family.
I think that the Democratic Party does much better at that because they're the ones that support massive increases in the child tax credit. They're the ones that support social safety nets for low-income Americans. So, the leading cause of poverty in young women is literally becoming a mother, right? And that is a big reason why a lot of young women don't want to become a mother. So maybe we incentivize we take some of those roadblocks down by ensuring that new families are happy, well-fed, and have their bills covered through increases in the child tax credits, tax write-offs, and other incentives such as better social safety nets. And that's an idea.
I don't mind that idea at all, and I think we could have a different conversation if you guys didn't force people to come on here. Like, why can't we just come up here and disagree with you
No
point
one
by?
forced you to come up here and meet watch.
No,
You did that on your
Santana, I'm
own.
not talking to you, bud. You're ignorant. Listen.
You came up to meet watch yourself.
What's your deal with
No,
Santana down here? What is this animosity?
Dean, we know what it is.
I
Come
think.
on.
Oh, do we really know what it
know,
is?
Dean.
Is that really the argument that you guys are going to
know.
appeal to right now?
He's an ableist.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Whatever you say, Santana. It has nothing to do with your race. I actually just think you as an individual are ignorant. Believe it or not, sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with your skin
I hear
color.
you. I hear you.
I don't know, man. Historically, just saying historically, Christopher. White men accusing black men of being a different species than themselves.
You guys
because of
view
intellectual
no. You guys view
It's
everything
rooted
through
in
the
racism.
lens of race, and that's
Listen,
ridiculous. That makes you
Christopher,
way more racist than
Christopher,
you could ever
I'm
pretend
just
to
a
be.
rational guy. Listen, I'm just a rational guy. Let me explain it.
This is making an irrational argument. Dean.
No, I could explain how it's not. Are you ready?
Ad hominem.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
So if I roll a pair of die, and every single time I roll this damn pair of die, I'm getting a 6 on both face, and I roll this pair of die about 1.5 million times, and every single time I get a 6 on both face, right? I would expect the time I roll the die for the millionth and 1th time, right? I would get a 6 on both face. That's only like a rational conclusion to make. So when history's rolling the metaphorical dice, and we're looking at circumstances of white men accusing black
Okay, so
men
this
of
sounds like
being
a racist argument, Dean.
intellectually inferior due to being a part of a different species, right? It's always rooted in racism. So I mean, now it's like the millionth and first time I've heard it. I mean, likelihood tells you it's worth a question. It's worth a ponder of thought.
What Dean is trying to say is you're a 6, bud, and not even a strong 6. Like you're a mediocre 6.
I'm
That's
Augie.
it. You're a mediocre
Likelihood tells you it's worth
6, bud, and a mediocre 6.
Turn on my camera. That I can do. All right.
6 is on the PSL scale. I'd go like 4.75 on PSL.
Yeah.
Maybe if we're just doing
nice.
like general like colloquial ratings, I'd go 6. PSL,
Honestly,
I'd go like
I'm not here to
4.7.
debate you guys about the efficacy of how attractive I am to other people. But what I am going to debate you about is the fact that it is absolutely a racist argument to presume that because there have been racist white people in the
Quick
past,
question for you.
that makes somebody more liable to be a racist.
Before you go into your whole points, what is race?
What is race? Ethnicity, bud, like
No,
the
that's
melanin in your skin.
That's not.
Yes, it is. Ethnicity very much makes up the foundation
it's
for race.
not. It's not. Race is a social construct that's created based off of phenotypical characteristics that was actually created to separate white people and non-white people based on said phenotypical characteristics.
Buddy,
Hey,
I think
question
in the
for you.
real world, we can all agree what a fundamental basis for race is. I think I look at you and you're a black
I
man,
don't
and you can
think
look
so,
at me and I'm a
because,
white man.
Like
and
if
we
you
kind of
if
refer
you
to each
if
other
you
as
can't
different
sit here
races.
and actually tell me what it is, then why should I have an intelligent conversation with you?
Why
about
are we
race
getting
or
into
racism?
conceptual arguments about
Because if you
race
don't
right
know
now?
what
I think
something is, then why
everybody
should I talk
knows
about
what
it?
we mean about white and black
don't.
and Asian, and yeah, I think we do.
We don't.
I think anybody in the street would be like, "What are you talking about right now?" But
Can I hop in here?
go ahead.
Are you a virgin?
I'm not a virgin.
So you're a father.
I'm not a father.
Wait, but I
Not
thought you
yet.
said that sex
I will be.
should only be.
I don't engage in
for purposes of
contraceptive
reproduction.
measures, but no, I'm not a father yet.
Oh, so you've like tried to impregnate your girlfriend?
I'm not necessarily trying to. We're young, but if it happens, it happens. So,
Oh, so,
no,
so
I
then
pull
what-
out.
so
I
what's
have
the purpose
strong
of
game, bud.
what's the purpose of engaging in sex with her?
Eventually to have a child and have a family, but I would
Wait,
not.
so then why would
ever,
you pull out?
Because we're not ready for that yet financially.
Okay, so then-
however, if
so
it
then
were
it's
to
not the
happen, I
purpose.
will
Wait,
assume
wait, wait, wait,
responsibility for my
so
child.
because you told us, right, that like you pull out, right, that means that you're not engaging in the action of intercourse for the purpose of reproduction, but rather for the purpose of pleasure. But earlier you told us that that sex should only be engaged in for the purpose of reproduction, and engaging in sex for the purpose of pleasure is like degenerate. So are you degenerate?
Solely for I'm saying solely for pleasure versus eventual byproduct of having a child. No, I will not.
Well, it seems like you're
have
trying
my.
to, so it seems like you're trying to like mitigate that outcome by pulling out. So would you like accuse yourself of being like a half degenerate?
Hedonistic? No, sir, I wouldn't.
I said degenerate.
Oh, a degenerate. I'm not a degenerate for engaging. However, it would be degenerate to not assume responsibility for your actions, knowing what the possible outcomes of said actions are.
Well, I don't know. A possible outcome of getting an elective surgery like a nose job would be an infection. That doesn't mean if I go and get that elective surgery and I get an infection that I'm assuming responsibility for said infection.
Is that how we're viewing an infant
Well, that's how we're
gestating in the
viewing.
womb?
That's how we're viewing your logic. Nice.
But that's
nice.
what you're comparing it to.
Well, I know I'm actually just applying your logic. It's not a comparison being made to any other scenario. It's an application of your logic. You just said that it's degenerate, right, to not take responsibility for a potential outcome of engaging in an action that was foreseen. However, a foreseen potential outcome of engaging in the action of elective surgery, such as a nose job, would be an infection caused by said surgery. So therefore, if I get an elective nose job that yields the potential outcome of the development of said infection, right? Do you think I need to take like responsibility for said infection? Is that my fault?
I'm just gonna have to shut this down because this is a mute point that you're making because I still intend to have a child and take care of my child.
Hey, M-O-O-T, moot, not mute.
Thank you, Santana.
Well, I'm just saying if your logic follows. Like, so if somebody, right, like gets an elective nose job, knows that there's a potential outcome of an infection following the surgery, they get that infection, and they're like, oh, I really don't want this infection. This is not my fault that I have this infection. Are they degenerate?
You're degenerate for engaging in having elective surgeries done for your facial perception to others. Absolutely.
Okay,
I don't think that would be.
But you're not answering the question that I'm asking. But you're not answering the question that I asked you. This would be a straw man fallacy.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have. Repeat your point one more time for me.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. Do you need me to hold your hand?
No, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. I'll repeat it for a third time. So you said that an individual is a degenerate, right? If they get, if they engage in an action that yields a risk of a potential outcome, then they don't take responsibility for said outcome. So if I engage in the action of an elective surgery, such as a nose job, that yields a potential outcome of an infection on my nose following said surgery, then I get that infection and I'm like, hey, I really don't want this infection. I don't think it was my fault that I have this infection, right? Would I be a degenerate?
You wouldn't be a degenerate, but yes, you would then have to assume responsibility for the outcome of your actions. Yeah, I think that's how that works.
Okay, so there'd be assumed responsibility for the infection. So I'm responsible for that infection.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you mean by responsibility?
So you took an action knowing a possible outcome, and therefore any outcome resulting from that action is then your responsibility to take accountability for at the least.
Like a possible outcome of like driving on a public road is getting T-boned by a drunk driver, right? If I get T-boned by a drunk driver knowing that there's a potential outcome that was foreseen, am I responsible for getting T-boned by said drunk driver?
Okay, this is a fallacy right here. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's how I'm engaging in an action that I know could yield
like
a potential, like a potential likelihood of this.
You always do this where you try to give a separate point and then act like it applies equally applicable to every single scenario, as if like, okay, that's a social construct.
So then you're just saying that your logic isn't applicable in all scenarios where it could be implied. So therefore, what you hold.
Okay, therefore what? Therefore
so
what?
Therefore, you hold to an incoherent
argument.
Ideological position.
It's not incoherent whatsoever.
Well,
you know what's incoherent is believing that we should keep aborting children.
What makes it incoherent is the fact that it is not true in all applicable contexts, right? When you're like operating off of it as if it is a logical principle, right? You're suggesting this principled position. The principled position is that like if you engage in an action that yields a potential outcome, and then that potential outcome occurs, you're responsible for that potential outcome, right?
To a minor extent, like okay, I'm talking. If you
okay, so you're saying to an extent. You're saying to an extent, and then you make some like arbitrary judgment in your mind, right, to determine what that extent is and when it actually applies. So okay, so then I could assume the same principle. I'm going to assume, right, your same like line of thought here. I'm going to assume that if you engage in an action and it yields a likelihood for a potential outcome, that you're responsible to that outcome. But this principle doesn't always apply, as it only applies to an extent, and that extent is arbitrarily delineated by my own mind. So therefore, I hold to this principle, but I don't think it applies, right, to the context of pregnancy in relation to a man or a woman, as that would fall beyond my arbitrary threshold of extent of the principle.
I kind of lost you there. I'm not gonna lie.
Come on, man. You came up and you're saying necessary conditions of overturning Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Like those are Phil bro words. So then when I Phil bro
Yeah.
out on you back, you can't follow?
Yeah.
I can absolutely follow you. You don't make sense. So repeat yourself one more time, and I
Well,
got you.
Listen, man, I remember being in like calculus my junior sophomore year of high school, and I thought the teacher didn't make any sense. Turns out it's because I didn't do my damn homework, and he was a great professor.
Exactly.
Nah, I just kind of zoned out.
I
Just
tracked
repeat what you
extremely
said.
well, and I mean, I wasn't even trying to break
Yeah,
down.
so explain
the
it for us, Santana. Can you do
For
that?
what? Why? It's not my argument.
Repeat what he just said.
No,
Can you
seriously.
remember anything?
Why would I explain the argument to you if you don't understand it? Like, am I debating this point?
I absolutely have the ability.
It doesn't
to
seem like
understand what
it.
you
It
said.
seemed
I
like
just didn't hear what
it
said.
seemed like you have the inability to actually track the argument while Dean actually broke it down. So either it's that you don't understand, or you're just sitting up here and you know that your
Okay,
argument
so
is
instead of
fucked and
repeating
you
the
don't want
point
to
and
actually,
allowing me to
then go ahead and
ascertain
answer.
that,
He does that for people all the time.
Go ahead and answer. You know that your actual point is fucked, and that's why you're playing.
my
as
point
if
is
you
not
don't-
fucked at all. What's
Okay,
fucked
then
is
respond.
Whoa.
Respond to what I didn't hear. I didn't ascertain.
Okay, I could try
That's
to
what I'm
repeat
saying.
it. So you suggested a principle, right? If you engage in an action that yields a likelihood for a potential outcome, if that outcome occurs, then you're responsible for said outcome. But then when I gave you a scenario of your logic, being applied, right, that is unintuitive, right, such as the fact that when you engage in the action of driving that yields a potential outcome of getting T-boned by a drunk driver, according to your logic, you'd be responsible for getting T-boned by said drunk driver. You would share responsibility with them, likely. You said that your logic does not apply here. Then I asked you why. Then you were like, well, because it only applies to a certain extent, right? And then I responded to that by arguing, well, seemingly the extent in which you apply your logic is arbitrary by nature, and it's just up to your own subjective interpretation.
Absolutely, everything's up to subjective interpretation. Like, not all scenarios are equally comparable.
So I think when it's when it's an arbitrary line left up to subjective interpretation and lack of good reason, it's incoherent, right? And then I showed you how your logic could be incoherent, as I could assume your logic. I could also hold to the same position, right? That if you engage in an action that yields a potential outcome and that potential outcome occurs, you're responsible for it, right? But similarly to yourself, I will only apply this to an arbitrary extent. Therefore, I will not apply this to a pregnant woman. I do not think that she is responsible for that pregnancy, as it would.
So,
fall beyond
Dean,
that
do you in
arbitrary
your
threshold.
day-to-day life legitimately apply your logic equally across all thresholds? In any given scenario, you're going to say, okay, well, I think one way about this thing, so now it actually has to apply to everything. That's caveman logic, and that's why I called you a homo habilis.
So that's actually what you call the Socratic method. I
This
don't know
thing
what to tell
means
you.
this thing.
So the way that, do you know what the Socratic method is?
No, define it for me.
Okay, all right, and you're the one calling me unintelligent, buddy. Now we're in school again. So the Socratic method, right, is a method.
All right, bud. No,
developed-
come on now, bud.
No, you seriously learned this in school. I'm just pointing
There's
out.
nothing unintelligent. It's been a long time. There's nothing unintelligent.
Okay. Wow, you seem to get
Yeah,
really,
and you're a philosophy major.
you seem to get really hurt when I call you unintelligent.
Exactly, but you used the word mute when you were trying to actually.
I
use
misspoke,
moot.
Santana.
No, you didn't.
So-
You just didn't know the difference. Please stop
I
pushing people
know what the fuck
intelligence.
the word
Humble
means.
yourself.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Humble
I
yourself.
literally watch politics all day, but I know what the word means. I've seen it.
You watch
used in the-
politics all day. How many people serve in the House of Representatives? Give me a rough ballpark. A rough ballpark's okay.
21.
Wow. Homo habilis down here.
Okay, because I don't know exactly how many people serve in the House of
I
Representatives.
said rough ballpark.
Okay, rough ballpark. I'm at 40.
6, 7.
40? No, there's like 435.
Okay. I don't know. I was just guessing, anyways. It doesn't really matter.
Let's
But
make it easier. How many senators are there?
it's 2 per state in every jurisdiction, right?
So how many senators?
It's like 1 to 2. I think it depends on how many.
So how many
So
senators
what's
do
the
we have?
number, bud?
How many? I would guess 100
Good job.
because there's
Good
2 per
job.
state.
Yeah, the chat was right. Good job. Very proud of you.
I didn't fucking look at your chat, dude. I would never look at what these infants have to say because they track your logic, which means they're.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
You said
Cut it out.
infants?
That was so funny. Sorry, what?
Okay.
Yes, the infants in your chat.
Do you suffer from from a narcissist complex?
He does. You can tell.
No, I just believe that everybody that watches you has to be a lower intelligence, 100%. Just the way that the arguments. Okay, so if you get in a car, does that mean you're responsible for getting hit? Like, what are you talking about? This is a moral.
Wait. So you're saying that it's unintelligent to suggest an operating principle. That operating principle being that if you engage in an action that yields a potentiality for a certain outcome, that if that outcome occurs, you're always responsible. You just called your own argument unintelligent, buddy. When you're calling the chat infants, in all reality, you're just merely projecting.
I'm not projecting anything, but not absolutely not. I don't associate with
it's projecting.
Cretans.
Yep.
Mud dwellers in your comment section.
You are a narcissistic, projecting meat watcher.
Well, at least the Cretan mud-dwelling infants knew how many people served in the House of Representatives and were able to comment that there's 100 senators while you're still considering if there's one or two in any given state. So I don't know, man. Maybe
I'm telling you, nobody knows anything that watches you. Nobody put out a decent number. The only number I saw was 67 in your comments because they were trying to mislead me.
So maybe the mud-dwelling Cretan infants, if they're more intelligent than you, what does that make you, my friend?
Stop it, Dean. Now you're just making mute points.
I'm making mute points, yeah.
You are. You're making mute points.
So this is
I literally watched you. You were slurring your words and everything that you were saying to Nick Fuentes on that debate. So I'm not going to hear that. I literally watched you mispronounce so many words. We're not going to make that argument that I just by definition am an idiot because I fucking said the wrong word by accident.
No, you're by definition an idiot because you're an idiot.
You did not. You absolutely did not. You were completely outclassed in every regard. And guess what? I don't agree with him on everything by any means. And he obliterated you.
So last week you said that you stay up to date with politics. Last week, did the Trump administration repeal some of their tariffs on cow products and coffee to reduce their prices since tariffs increased?
I'm not paying attention to what the fuck the Trump administration is doing right now.
You said you watch politics every day.
Yeah. So the answer to the question, Christopher, would be they did.
Well, politics
right?
are
the answer to the question, Christopher, if you're going to listen to me here, the answer to the question would be that yes, last week the Trump administration repealed some of their tariffs, right, to reduce the price of those goods. Since when you tariff a product coming into America, ultimately a lot of that is passed off to the consumer via an increase in the price of that foreign produced good. Now, here's the thing. What is the first topic that I debated with Nick Fuentes?
I want to say it was Kamala versus Trump, or was it tariffs?
Kamala.
The whole thing was over should Trump be the next president, and it was tariffs. Okay, so what I debated him on, right, was the notion that tariffs can increase the cost of consumer goods because that tariff is inevitably passed off to the consumer. Nick Fuentes argued that no, the tariffs would not do that. And inside of that 10-15-minute debate, not only did I get him to concede on that whole debate topic, but then was proven right by the Trump administration not even a week ago. So for you to sit here and tell me that I got stomped on when I was the one aligned with the reality and he was the one that was obviously so delusioned, only shows your own delusion.
Dean, you weren't wrong.
These come down to moral incongruencies between people. It is my moral prerogative to believe that it's wrong to snuff out potential consciousness and the facilitation of our own species. I believe that.
What the fuck does that have to do with tariffs?
Possibly valid.
Hey, what the fuck does that have to do with tariffs?
This is what I came on here to debate you about.
Yeah, you came up here on your debate, bro.
No, you and Nick Fuentes have moral incongruencies with each other, and therefore, not everything has to boil down to source. Where's your source?
So could you please demonstrate the moral incongruence in the debate that I had with him about the efficacy of tariffs and if they increase the price of consumer goods? And keep in mind, if you cannot demonstrate a moral incongruence, then you're demonstrating that you're pivoting.
Let me be clear that tariffs are bipartisan to begin with. All right. Okay, Biden kept his tariffs in his first administration.
But let me be clear that I shit on Nick Fuentes in the first topic debate I had with him about the nature of tariffs and if they cause inflation for the price of consumer goods.
No.
Oh, how so?
You didn't win.
Oh, how did I not win when I was right and he was wrong? Right? If like
you didn't win.
Right? Like
did he concede?
That sounds like a caveman answer, Dean. You no win.
Did he concede to you?
Well, if winning a debate requires a concession, I think that you're disillusioned. But I think
No,
I think,
it requires a subjective interpretation.
I think that he might have.
My subjective interpretation.
So give me a fair subjective interpretation of the debate that I had with him on tariffs to demonstrate that I didn't absolutely destroy him.
I cannot verbatim recall your one argument with Nick Fuentes on tariffs.
Do you want to listen to
Play
it?
it back.
But I will tell you that tariffs are beneficial
Your
across
friend,
the board.
listen, your friend is saying to play it back. Should we play it back?
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted a clip of it on TikTok. Let me find it here.
What did Aiden Ross?
Who's this idiot in your comments saying it requires an objective
Who
interpretation?
did Aiden Ross say one?
Okay, we're trying to load it up here.
You know when, chat. Really quick while he loads that. Mary, thank you so much for the 10. I really appreciate you. Ryan, thank you as well for the 10. Rose, thank you so much for the 10. You're awesome. Allison, thank you for the 3. And also, Sophie, thank you for the 4. You guys are all appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, it's not
Also,
loading.
while Dean is doing this, make sure that you guys are tapping the screen. Let's get the likes up to 1 million likes if you'd like to support Dean. The P and the V, it's listed above his head. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, but you can also hit that pay link. Make sure you're liking the stream over on YouTube as well. Get the likes up. It helps push the stream out.
All right, let's go and listen to the debate that I had with Fuentes about tariffs.
Domestic production given tariffs because that is passed off to the consumer. Would you agree there?
No, absolutely not.
If they don't cause inflation of the pricing of goods at the grocery store, then why would we see an increase in domestic production?
Because it will make it competitive for America to make the same things.
How?
If China, because it's basic math. If it
Explain it to
costs
me.
I'm going to if you stop interrupting me. If it costs less to make something in China because they have abundant labor than it does in the United States, then China can sell it at a lower price because their cost is lower. But if we make them pay more to bring their goods to the market, then they have to sell it for more, or they have to pay the tariff and they make less profit. And that makes it profitable. China pays the cost to bring it to the market, not the consumer.
And who pays the cost once it's in the market?
Well, the consumer does.
Thank you.
But they're buying what they're already buying. They're just buying it from an American producer.
Yeah, for a higher price, right?
Yeah, so for a slightly, marginally higher price so we can have American production.
Okay, keep in mind, this debate is the one that he's saying I got, like, stomped on in.
You got stomped on.
He literally gave a concession. There was a concession. He gave a concession.
That he said yes, it ultimately does fall on the consumer to a slight
That's the
extent.
point.
So to equalize the market and to recenter and
Should we just
He gave a concession.
listen back to the first thing he said in the video, dude?
We see an increase in domestic production given tariffs because that is passed off to the consumer. Would you agree there?
No, absolutely not.
Dude! Brother! Come on, you're gonna sit here and, like, delusionally defend a neo-Nazi, a virgin neo-Nazi, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi that thinks the age of consent should be lowered, a asexual virgin neo-Nazi that thinks the age of consent should be lowered, and lives in his mother's basement. In that debate, really?
How long ago was that clip when he talked about the age should be lower, buddy?
Month? 2?
You're you're just going based off like you're judging people based off clips. You guys are.
Yeah, if you get clips saying that the age of consent should be lowered, I'm gonna judge the fuck out of you, right? That's fair.
Okay, anybody that understands a modicum of how economics works understand that it's ultimately going to fall on the consumer when we add tariffs. All right,
so then you agree that Nick Fuentes was completely lost and doesn't even understand the modicum
because
of
the ultimate outcome of that is recentering industrialization here, and that's why we have
It doesn't work that
industries
way.
moving here. Yes, we do.
This
Literally,
is
the Honda.
bait. Don't take the bait, Santana. This is bait. He's trying to pivot. He's trying to pivot right to a conversation between me and him about the efficacy of tariffs compared to conceding right his claim that Nick Fuentes dog walked me in the debate that I had with him. Right, as soon as you concede that Nick Fuentes is a low IQ virgin neo-Nazi that lives in his mother's basement and got dog walked by a 20-year-old or even 19, I think it was 19 at the time, by a 19-year-old in a debate about the economy, we'll happily move on to a conversation about tariffs between the two of us, the three of us, or a conversation about the morality of abortion.
We can agree that Trump has gone overboard with the targeted tariffs.
We're not even talking about Trump. We're talking about Fuentes, right? The virgin neo-Nazi that got shit on.
We're talking about anything you want to talk about. I came up here to talk about abortion. Then you want to say that?
Yeah, you're the guy. You're the guy. You're the guy that made the claim that Nick Fuentes beat me in a debate. I didn't know I was pivoting for proving you wrong.
No, that is about that. We're talking about abortion, all right? That's really where I'd like to recenter this.
Were you talking about abortion when you said that Nick Fuentes destroyed me?
You're the one that
Wait, I forced you to say his name? I forced you to make that claim?
You pivoted initially.
I didn't even pivot to this. No, you brought this up because you thought that you'd used the debate. You thought that I'd used the debate. You thought that you'd use the debate that I had with Nick Fuentes to demonstrate that I'm an unintelligent guy, when in all reality, right, that's just one of the debates that proves the opposite.
I wouldn't say that you're unintelligent completely. I just think that you're disingenuous in how you utilize that intelligence to profit and capitalize off of these idiots that watch you, because I don't think you're as stupid as you make yourself out to be at all.
Okay, well, I mean, you just made yourself sound really stupid because you just said I'm intelligent, but you're a grifter, but you're stupid.
Yep. Also,
no, you are using your intelligence to capitalize
Brian
off
for the 15 says, thank you for what you're doing. Brian, I really appreciate you. W's in the chat.
Brandon, speaking of capitalization, Brandon, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Says he doesn't even suffer from his narcissism. Everybody else does. Yeah, good fucking point. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, that's a good one. Thank you for the $10, Brandon. Nicole, thank you for the $10 as well. Thank you so much, Nicole. Evelyn, thank you for the $10. Who says, thank you for always challenging the MAGA dumbasses. Now, out of curiosity, I'm not going to finish that sentence, Evelyn, but I do really appreciate you so much for the love. Mark, thank you for the $5, with another $5 too. Thank you so much. And then over on Super Chat, Lotus, thank you so much for the 50, sorry, not for the 50, for the 70 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, Lotus. Show some love to wonderful Lotus down below in that chat for the 70 Canadian dollars, who says, please pass this to the wonderful Santana. Best argument about birth control. Dude, I owe some money to Santana. Santana, when am I going to...
You already know what I'm going to say.
You already know what I'm going to say. When am I going to see you next, man?
Soon.
Why see you soon?
I'm going to be hopping... I mean, you know, like, the government is no longer shut down, so, like, I can fly again. Right. I'm not worried... Well, still kind of worried about planes falling out of the sky.
Right, yeah, man. You're going to get a real nice dinner on me, dude. A real nice dinner on me. Abigail, thank you so much for the $10, who says I've taught 1-year-olds with more class than these idiots. Appreciate you for the $10, Abigail. Show some love to Abigail down below in that chat. Evie, that is Evie. Sorry, Eve. It's probably just pronounced Eve. Jesus. Eve, that is EVE. Thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Eve. Eve with the $25 says, daily listener, first time donor from the UK. The work that you do gives me hope for the future of humanity. Thank you, Eve. You're awesome. As well as hi, Ilda. Thank you for the $7. Scrawny, thank you for the 3. And Allison, thank you for the $3 as well. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. If you want to help me capitalize off of the grift by misapplying my intelligence to convince you guys of lies, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio on TikTok, pinned message on YouTube, and at the top of the phone screen. Now, Christopher, are you worth any more of my time?
I don't think so.
Well,
I have nothing.
should we quickly just run him in a quick loop on abortion?
Yeah.
Let's just get him in a quick knot.
And they're so desperate for it. Like, well, I'll tell you after they're done.
We're gonna get him in a quick knot here on abortion. Sub 30 seconds. Somebody turn the clock on. Christopher, what's your position?
My position or his?
Was that you leaving your mom's basement just now?
No. He was leaving his.
I'm allowed to live with other people, Santana.
So Christopher, what's the position on abortion? Come on, be quick. I'm trying to speed run you real quick.
Abortion should be illegal across the board.
Yeah, why? Come on.
It should be illegal because it's snuffing out the potential for conscious life to develop.
Okay. So killing life with a potential future consciousness should be illegal. Is it murder?
Yes.
Okay, so it's murder to kill life that has a potential for future consciousness. Should all murderers go to jail? Like if you were dictator?
Yeah, murderers should go to jail.
Okay. What about serial murderers, serial killers? Should they Should they go to jail for the rest of their lives?
Yeah, I think anybody, if you murder anybody, you should go to jail.
Okay,
Yes.
if you murder anybody, you should go to jail. And murder would include the killing of life with a future potential for consciousness. When does human life begin?
At conception.
Does it have the potential for future consciousness at the moment of conception?
Yes.
So if you kill
Not always, but for the most part, yes, it has the potential.
Okay, so if you kill a zygote, it makes you a murderer?
Yes.
Okay, so if you kill a zygote, it makes you a murderer. So if you kill a zygote, you should go to jail.
Yes.
Okay, so
If you intentionally kill a zygote, yes, via abortion.
intentionally. So if a woman with an IUD, right, engages in sex knowing that that can kill a zygote, and it does kill a zygote, is she a murderer?
IUD should be illegal.
That's not what I asked you. Is she a murderer?
Yes.
Okay, so women with IUDs that are sexually active, knowing that they can kill zygotes, so if they do kill zygotes, should be in prison for the rest of their lives?
After we make it illegal, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for playing. You just got absolutely dunked on. But let me get this straight. If you boast about sexually exploiting women and girls at a beauty pageant, if you're held civilly liable for raping E. Jean Carroll, if you hit on a 10-year-old girl, you're best friends with Epstein, you should be president. But if you're a woman that's sexually active on birth control, you should go to jail for the rest of your life. Yeah, so see, the way that I just won this argument in less than a minute tops was by demonstrating the absurdity of your logical positions.
Dean, you're the one that forces people to say that they like Trump to get on your fucking thing in the first place. That's all, because you can't debate competent people that can simultaneously disagree with somebody and also have their own
We
thoughts.
still didn't get to debate a competent person.
Yeah. All right. I said that we move on
All
pretty
right,
quickly.
Keith,
Thanks for playing, Christopher. Right, you just got put into the wash machine. You got put into the wash machine. That's how it goes.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Go grab some sushi with my wife. I appreciate you having me up.
Hey man, you have a great rest of your day. Sushi. That just brought up.
You know it.
Take care. I appreciate you so much for joining us.
See you, bro.
That just brought up a terrible thought in my head from a guest that we had on a couple days ago by the name of Steven. I need y'all to listen to this. Of course, it's not playing. All right, while I'm trying to load up this clip, which is seemingly going to require me restarting my phone here. There it goes.
He might be a trans testicle. What? I think he might be a trans testicle. What the fuck is a trans testicle? Well, man, I don't know. They start chopping off their stuff, man, like sushi. I couldn't tell you. You're a Democrat.
Jesus Christ. Now, every time I hear the word sushi, I'm like, oh my God. I have a very bad mental connection now to sushi. Just God, that guy was crazy. That guy was nuts, dude.